and we hope that you are doing fine. Um, can you give me a recap of what we studied in the other class? Any one of you can give me a recap of what we studied in the other class? My friends, would you please give me a recap of what we studied in the other class? Please, yeah.
So we were learning about the history of Christianity in India and history of Christianity in Kerala, and we were talking about Saint Thomas. And Saint Thomas came. Some people were saying like Saint Thomas came to Kerala, to South India. Some people saying not to North India. And
Okay, I agree with you. What is the last point that we, you know, culminate our discussion, or what to say that what is the topic that we are going to commence? You know, that like that I think I have given certain. This is the topic that we are going to discuss in the next class. Like that, are you remembering? So the first is a history of Christianity is over, and the second one is Indo-Persian ecclesiastical connection or Persian period that we commence. I think, isn't it?
The Syrian period in India.
Syrian period in India. When I'm
And we
taking the
have,
class, when I'm taking the class in the last time, and I got the power exhausted. In fact, I couldn't make a class. In fact, we left the class in between. I'm sorry. I am apologizing for my mistake, and hope that today our class will continue in a meticulous way. Well, hope you are doing well. If you don't mind, can you see people? Though we are sitting far, would you please open your video? Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, Rajiv and Matthew Thomas. Anybody else? Yes. Are you there literally or not? Okay.
sorry, sir. I am currently staying in a hotel. So here the network is very slow.
Uh, uh,
That's the reason. I'm not at
yeah,
home.
yeah. Any meeting without eating is a cheating. That's why
No,
we Malus used to say that, you know, any meeting without eating is a cheating. So somebody are in the hotel. That's also, I like it. You know, I like the way to mouth. The way to heart is the way to mouth. In fact, eating is also the part of this class. Do a command to attack? Do a command to attack by sparing your pocket? Wonderful. Okay, Cyril. Thank you. And how far we completed in the last class? That's the thing I want to explain. I think what happened to St. Thomas Christianity after the death of St. Thomas? I think that's the point we discuss, isn't it? My dear,
yes, sir.
my dear friends, you have to go through the video and get in touch with what we studied in the last class so that we can recap in the proper way. Well, let me recap once again. What happened to St. Thomas Christianity after the death of St. Thomas? Our basic topic is, what is the main topic? Main topic is history of Christianity in India under Persian period. What is the ecclesiastical nexus between Indian church and Persian church. What was the nexus? Ecclesiastical or church connection between Indian and Persian church is the point that we need to do it. Under that one, we ask the first query that what happened to St. Thomas community after the death of St. Thomas? In AD 52, St. Thomas came to India and ministered around 20 years, and he became a martyr in AD 72. So after AD 72, his disciples, his followers, the Christians under the leadership of St. Thomas in India were left out without a leader, without a church building, without a pastoral care, without a pastoral counseling, without a meeting, without a connection. So we can say that they were a sheep without shepherd. So the St. Thomas community or the believers or St. Thomas churches after the death of St. Thomas became analogically, allegorically, metaphorically, they became a sheep without shepherd. You know that what a shepherd is not there, what will happen to the sheep? Number one, were snatched by attacked by the wild animals. So similarly, some of the St. Thomas community were left their faith, new faith, Christianity, and went back to their old religion. Second group, what happened to second group? Some of the people faced severe persecution of Christians in the first or second century. So they lost their life and they became martyrs. And third category is that because of the severe persecution, the Christians migrated into several places than the inhabited traditional domicile of Christians. The next group became affected with the heretical teachings. Manikya Katana or somebody else, heretical teachings came into in Kerala, and these people were collapsed. And there was no relation. There was no theology. There was no scripture. There was no any Christian development. There was any doctrinal development. Nothing else. Indian church was totally cut off from the rest of the Christendom. Rest of the Christendom. So what I want to say is that but some of the people remained in faith. Or in quote unquote sense, we can say the majority of the Christians remained in their own faith, in their own faith, in their own faith, Christianity. And they are simply reciting the prayers, Lord's Prayer, some Bible verses, some Gospels. They are coming, praying, singing, and what they say was, and they are what to say that they are spending the time on Sunday, simply worshiping the God. But they themselves became the leaders, and she was, even though she didn't get any connection, they remained in faith. These people began to contact with the Persians through merchants. Please send some church leaders. We are unable to survive. We need more pastors. We need more priests. So they began to request the Persian, what to say that believers. So that what to say that please send some church leaders, please send some leaders, please send some theologians, please send some Christian teachers. So Indians requested unto Persians, So some of the Persians came to India. So the second thing is that and the Persians, arrival of Persian Christians to India. I think that also we studied in the last class. Under that one, why Persian Christians came to India? What are the reasons for the arrival of Persian Christians to India? You know that Persia is far away from our place, Syria, Mesopotamia, east of Euphrates. All these places, Iran, Iraq, Syria, all these places are far away from our land. It is very difficult to come over here. There was a land route and sea route are there, but sea route is seemed to be very easy for a safe journey. And there was a maritime lucrative connection between India and Persia at that time. There are a lot of merchants who lived in our Kerala or in India. Through them, they have the Syrian Christians sent some letters to the Persian church authority. Please send some church leaders. And the question is that the globe was divided into two, Eastern world and the Western world. Likewise, the Philip Jenkins who divided the global Christianity into two, global North and global South. Likewise, the global West and global East was divided in the early century. During this time, West was dominated by the Roman Catholic Church or Pope, or even see the Apostle Peter, Paul, and all these people dominated in the Roman Empire. And why they didn't contacted with these people? Remember that they didn't contact immediately. So the AD 73 to second century, third century, or at the beginning of the fourth century, Indian church remained as an isolated, compartmentalized, polarized, what to say, segregated, what to say that they pushed into the periphery, they were put into the margin without having any assistance. So from the fourth century onwards, they began to contact with the Persians, and Persian Christians sent some ecclesiastical leaders to India. So there are two immigrations happened in India. One is in the fourth century, probably around AD 325. Um, uh, then I want to say that the next one is after the fourth century, one immigration, and even the 325, AD 325, they came to as a group, Thomas of Cana. Under the leadership of Thomas of Cana, they were also known as Canaanite Christians. A group of 400 people came to India. There are fourth century, one migration was there, and the ninth century was also another migration. And the first migration came to Kodungalur. Karanganur landed there and received a land from there, and they constructed a city. It is known as Mahadevara Pattanam. Mahadevara Pattanam. Then what to say that Kodungalur, Karanganur, they landed out, and second immigration which took place in the um, ninth century, 825, something like that. I will give the dates, exact dates. When I'm giving the important historical dates at that time, I will give the accurate dates. Otherwise, you may puzzle and bamboozle to understand, keep these dates. So some people that don't like to history because of this too much names and the dates are there. So chronology and topography are very important for history. And in fact, we need to study. I don't want to make a big headache for you. I will give the select and important dates at the end of the class as a prelude, as an epilogue. I will give this one. So in the 4th century and the 9th century, two group of people, Persian immigrations, came to India and they settled here, and they began to interface, interact, interrogate with the Syrian community in India. So from that time onwards, the Syrian Christians got a new name. I mean, St. Thomas community got a new name. It is known as the Syrian Christians. So, original Syrian Christians plus St. Thomas community, they were collectively known as Syrian Christians. So, the second important period in India is second important period is Syrian period. Why it is known as Syrian period? Syrian Christians came to India. Why they came to India? Indians requested. When they came to India, beginning of 4th century. From 4th century onwards and the 9th century onwards, the two immigrations happened in India. So they came to India and they settled in India. The question is why Indian Christian did not request to Roman Empire, and why Christians of India requested only to Persia, only to Persia. The answer is Persian Empire. I mean, headed by the Apostle Thomas. In Apostle of India and Persia are one and same. That is none other than Apostle Thomas. None other than Apostle Thomas. And second thing is, that what to say that the uh, Persian and Roman Empire, their apostle is Saint Thomas. I mean Saint Peter or Saint Paul. So they find a difficulty to accommodate another apostle. In fact, they contacted with Persia. Cyril, are you getting what I'm saying? And the next reason we need to point we need to study why Persian Christians came to India. What are the reasons for the arrival of Persian Christians to India? What are the reasons for the arrival of Persian Christians to India? There are a lot of reasons are there. Number one is that there was a severe persecution in Persia in the 4th century. In order to escape from persecution in Persia, during the time of the Shapur II and Ardesh I, during the Sasanian period, Christianity came to Persia during the Parthian dynasty. Then second time, at that time there was no persecution. The first 3 centuries in Persia was a very peaceful time. Why? Because it was the foreign rule, Parthian dynasty was ruling there. In fact, the Christian didn't face any persecution. But after the 4th century onwards, a new political regime came to Persia. Their name is Sasanians. They were Zoroastrians, and they blended the religion and politics. Zoroastrians got support from Sasanian rulers, and Sasanian rulers got support from Zoroastrian. Just like religion and politics are blending together, and communalism started, fundamentalism started, finally persecution started. My friends, we have to understand why persecution is taking place. The flowering of the creamy layer or the pinnacle of religion is, what is that? Spirituality. The next level is, if you reduce spirituality, you will be in religiosity. If you lost the religiosity, you will become fundamental. If you lost the fundamentalism, also perished, you will become entered in the trap of communalism. If you again communalism perish, it will ended up in the terrorism. That's why we can see throughout the world, some of the terrorist groups are emanating from the communalism. Communalism is emanating from fundamentalism. Fundamentalism emanating from religiosity. Religiosity emanating from the spirituality. So spirituality is the creamy layer, it's the flowering stage of religion. What actually happened when the Sasanians came to India, they got an unholy alliance between religion and politics. Unholy alliance between religion and politics. You know that, so as a student of history, you have to ask yourself that where I want to locate. I want to fully 100% I want to locate in religion, or 100% I want to be abide in what to say that spirituality. So how do you respond? I don't like to make my class as a monologue. I want to make it as a dialogue. Jacob, how do you respond? Are you want to abide in religion, or are you want to be abide in a spirituality? Joe, how do you respond?
Try to
Can
avoid,
you,
try to
can
avoid,
you
religiosity then.
can you showcase yourself? എന്റെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ ഇവിടെ 11:30 മണിയായി. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ക്ലാസ് വേണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പറയുക കേട്ടോ. If you are not interested to the class, why can't you open the video? If you are so busy, I can postpone the class to other day. Have no problem. All of you, please open the video. Thank you, Mr. Jacob. I don't know. So what do you feel? Are you okay to open the video? I don't have any problem. Basically, I'm a street preacher. I don't mind anybody. I will preach it, no problem. Who is a professor? There was a discussion in the class in a university. Who is a professor? A professor who came to the class and taken the class, and somebody asked that I'm a new professor. The professor introduced himself that I'm a new professor. Oh, suddenly some of the jockey people asked that, oh, what do you mean by professor? And he said that I will say the answer after half an hour class. It was in an afternoon class. All students are napping, or some people are even sleeping. At that time, and the professor answered that, you asked the question other time, who is a professor? And the professor is a preacher who is preaching when all others are sleeping. And half of the students didn't understand because they didn't hear anything. Likewise, I don't have any problem because, I can take the class, but I want to make it as a dialogue method. So, Mr. Jacob, are you willing to be abide in the religion or in the spirituality? How do you think? Which is the most comfort zone? To be within the four walls of religion or to be within the four walls of spirituality? Which one is easy? Which one is comfortable? Which one is more logical?
I think to be in the to be in the spiritual side.
Spiritual. But but there is a narrow escape. There is a narrow line between the spirituality and the religiosity. It's a very hairline, what to say that a barrier is there. It's easy to think intrude into other. Each reciprocal intruding is possible there. So because a hairline line is there, between religion and spirituality. If you slip little bit, you will move into other, and otherwise vice versa. But when we evaluate the whole people, we can see that majority of the people are under religiosity. Hardly people are in the spirituality. So my concern is that we want to be outside the religiosity and inside the spirituality. So without a religiosity, we cannot be spiritual. Religion is the root and the spirituality is the fruit. So what we want to say that, we want to be outside of religion, inside of spirituality. But the people at that time, that in the Persian Empire, they were so religious. They were so religious. But India, the nation like India, don't have any problem because we are practicing secularism. So the Pakka Malayalam of secularism is, or the etymology of secularism is, Indian secularism is Sarva Dharma Sama Bhavana, equal respect for all religions. Equal respect for all religion. That means neither major religion nor minor religion. There is no foreign religion. There is an intruding religion, native religion, Protestant religion. There is no binary bifurcation between all these religions. All religions are equal. That was a concept in India. But when we evaluate present time, which religion became dominant and which religion became minority Indian landscape? Don't say the answer. In Indian landscape, as well as in the foreign landscape. In the foreign landscape, one religion is trying to overrule all world because of militant and missionary monotheistic mechanism. They are trying to conquer all the world. And the old Christendom is no more. The Christendom is turned into post-Christendom, as Philip Jenkins rightly pointed out that. So Christendom is no more, and post-Christendom happened there, where people are more religious. And but in the case of Persia, in the Near East, or in the Middle East, we can see that Islam is Muslims or Islams are coming up, and they're trying to make a large federation of nations, and that's one of the fast growing religion. But in India, Hinduism became very dominant over here. And likewise in the Persian Empire in the 4th century, the Sasanians, they were just like Hindus. They came into power with the support of the Zoroastrians. So Zoroastrianism became very dominant, and all the non-Zoroastrian peoples got severe persecution. Because of this persecution, some of the Christians want to escape from the persecution. I'm asking a question to Joel Joe. Are you willing to pursue persecution or quitting the persecution? He is hiding the persecution. Even though I am trying to persecute you, but you are hiding without seeing how you can say. So that this is what actually happened when the persecution is happening there. Some people are hiding themselves, and they want to hide it and move it to other places. So, but in the 1st century, it became a fashion. It became a fashion that everybody are willing to take the voluntary persecution, because the theology of Stephen's theology is that when a persecution is taking place, heaven will be open, the soul will escalate into the heaven. That's the theology of the 1st century and 2nd century. So it became a fashion for 1st century and 2nd century in the Roman Empire to meet persecution. But in the Persian Empire, the Christians are very minority and they don't have any nexus with the ruling class. There was severe persecution under the Shapur second. A severe persecution happened because the first 3 centuries Roman Empire persecution. Next, when persecution ended in the 4th century in the Roman Empire, it started in the Persian Empire or Eastern world. You know what actually happened? Constantine, the Roman emperor, who stopped the persecution, sent a letter to Shapur II, the Persian king. You should protect my Christians. That letter became adding oil to the smoldering fire. Already Christians in Persia were suspected. They were the spy of Persian Empire to Roman Empire. They were the enemy of Christians, were pictured as the enemy of Persian Empire and ally of what to say that this Roman Empire. So already they were in a dead enemy. Hitler's at that time. What actually happened? This Persian Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, who abolished the persecution, they send a letter, they send a letter, and they send a letter, what to say that, to the Persian Empire, Shapur II, protect my Christians there. I am keeping the Christians under your protection. That letter became a great issue, and there was a severe persecution in Persia in the 4th century. So, many of the people lost their life. Many of the bishops, priests, and common people, they lost their life. So, in order to escape from that persecution, some of the Christians, they decided to come to India. Why they decided to come to India? Their apostle and our apostle are one and same. One and same. So they decided to come to India. So why Persian Christians came to India in the 4th and the 9th century is our question. The first reason is that the Persian came to India in order to escape, in order to get rid of, what to say that, safeguard themselves from the persecution. They came to India. Second reason is that the Persian Christians came to India for trade and commerce. They want to do a lot of trade and commerce with India. So they came to India for trade and commerce. They trade and commerce, they came to India. So India is very rich in. India was the Gulf in the ancient country. India was the only rich nation in the world. We have spices, we have a lot of gold, then Kohinoor, diamond, and lot of articles are there. Even the King Solomon also sent some traders to India for getting some articles, some spices for making the items oil in the Jerusalem temple. So India was very blessed with the natural resources, gold, silver, animals, a lot of things. So there was no refrigerator in the past time, so our pepper is used to apply the dry fish, salt and pepper. Nowadays it is become joke also. Since no time to say jokes, I want to say that salt and pepper. They are applying this one to the dry fish and meat, in order to do the refrigerator function. So that's why Greeks, the Romans, Persians, Palestinian, all people, they like our pepper. It is known as pepper. Pepper means what to say? Black gold. Black gold. Pepper. Pepper. They said that they are in a position. It is known as Yavana Priya, the dear to the dear to the, what to say that, dear to the Greeks. Like you know, lot of articles are there. So Persian Christians came to India in order to do trade and commerce with India, in order to do the export and import with the, in order to do the export and import with India, with India, um, with India. Elson, can you just showcase yourself? Joel, can you showcase yourself? Shinsen, Palakamanal, Tito, can you just open your video? Are you there or not? I'm not certain. That's not a big deal for me. Okay, let's come back.
Sorry, Pastor, I'm driving at the moment, so I'm not able to open video.
Pardon?
I'm driving at the moment, so I'm not able to open the video at the
Okay,
moment.
be safe. Be safe. Be safe.
Okay, thank you, Pastor.
What to say that? The second reason is that, you know, to do the trade and commerce, they came here. And the third reason is that the Persian Christians came to India in order to see the tomb of St. Thomas. To see the tomb of St. Thomas. In order to see the tomb of St. Thomas, Persian Christians came to India in order to see the tomb of St. Thomas. Mr. Jacob, are you, if you are in an office or something like that, you can just close your videos, no problem.
No, I'm in the hotel. So.
Okay, no problem. Okay. I mean, in the hotel, in the sense, if you're eating or something like that, just close the video, no problem.
No, I'm not eating.
Okay. Oh, I thought that you are in the hotel in the sense you are having food or something like that.
No, I'm staying in the hotel, sir.
Oh, then you are in a comfort position. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a comfort, but the problem is that with the network only. Hello.
Martyr here, and St. Thomas was buried at Tamil Nadu, Sinnamalai, or St. Thomas Mount in Tamil Nadu, and Madurai, near to St. Thomas Mount at Chinnamalai at Tamil Nadu. So it was a great pleasure. For example, I personally visited Israel in order to see the place of Jesus, where Jesus born and brought up, and where Jesus crucified, whether the tomb, I want to see the tomb of Jesus, I want to see the Galilean lake, I want to see all these places, etc., etc. So I visited there. So it is a great euphoric thing that I want to visit. It was a earnest desire and anticipation that I want to visit that place. So I visited that place. It's a very, what to say that, it's a very mountainous and pedestal achievement in my life. So likewise, the Persian Christians nurse a dream to visit India. For what? To see the tomb of St. Thomas, the tomb of St. Thomas. It is a homage. It's a great privilege for them to have a visit to see the tomb of St. Thomas. Just like this is what actually happened with the Muslims. Muslims used to visit Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Medina, in order to see the tomb of, some important relics are there. So in order to see the relics, all over the people are visiting Mecca and Medina in Saudi. Likewise, the Persian Christians, Mecca and Medina is the St. Thomas tomb at Kerala. I mean, in Tamil Nadu. Near Arikumed or St. Thomas Mount, it is known as Chinnamalai, Parangimalai, all these things near Madras, Irimpallur, near to that place, So, near to Ekmore railway station, so somewhat near to that place, many students who visited there, and they brought some ATM card, like that card with the sand of that place. So Roman Catholics are paying a great visit, to that place. So, the Persian Christians came to India in order to see the tomb of St. Thomas, their apostle, So they came to India. Next reason for the visiting of St. Thomas to Persian Christians to India is uh, Indians requested unto Persians to send some to send some clergies to India. Persians, bishops, clergies, please send some priests to us. We are without any pastor, without any teacher, without any priest, without any bishop. So Indian Christians requested to the Persian church authority to send some ecclesiastical church leaders, clergies. So as per the request of Indians or Kerala, St. Thomas community, they, they came to India. The next reason for the arrival of Persian Christians to India is that, the fulfillment of a vision given to the Persian king and bishop. St. Thomas appeared in a vision to a Persian bishop. My believers back at Kerala, India, they are suffering like anything. They don't have a pastor, they don't have a leader, they don't have an apostle, they don't have a scripture, they don't have anything. They were lost sheep. Please send some of your clergies back to India. And in a vision, Edison bishop or Persian bishop said that, how can I am willing to send the people to India, no problem. If I say that they will go, no problem. But the thing is that without the permission of king, how can I send this much people back to India? St. Thomas said that, don't worry, I will appear, I will request the king also. So then the same night, this St. Thomas in a vision appeared to the Persian king that please send a few people to India. So both shared the same visions. King requested a bishop. Bishop, I got a vision, and in that one, St. Thomas, an apostle of Jesus, said that I want to send some people. Oh, you got the vision. Same day, I also got a vision that I want to send some people. So they both agree, and because of the fulfillment of the vision to a Persian king and Persian what to say that Persian bishop and king, they unanimously agreed and they sent some believers to India, priests to India. That's why Persian Christian took India. So you need to understand Persian Christianity. There was a binary between Persian. This side, is a old Roman Empire is there. This side, Persian Empire is there. In between the Roman Empire and Persian Empire, there is a buffer state. There is a buffer state, just like a chicken neck of West Bengal. There's a buffer state, a narrow strip there. It is known as Edessa, Edessa, Edessa. It is from this place the wise people or Magi went to Roman Empire. So Rasta said that when a supernatural supreme being incarnate in earth, there will be an unusual sky, in a star in the sky. So the astronomers, when they looked in the sky, there they saw a very bright and unusual sky, and they could understand the promise and the prophecy done by the Zoroaster became a reality. So they started the journey from Edessa. Where is Edessa? Edessa is a place in a small kingdom named Osrhoene. Its capital is known as Edessa. Edessa is the first Christian kingdom in the world, which is laid in between the Roman Empire and Persian Empire. So that is a narrow strip, that is a buffer state, that is what to say that a no man's land between Romans and the Persians, Romans and Persians. In fact, they came to this land. Romans, the Edessa was a no man's land. So the Persians can occupy this one sometimes. And the Romans can also occupy this one. When a persecution was there, in Persia, the Syrian Christians moved into a buffer state named Osrain or Edessa. Edessa was the first Christian kingdom in the world. Its king, there's an interesting story that the king was Ukoman Akbar, Agbar, Akbar. And his name is also known as Ukoman. And he got a leprosy in his hand. In order to escape from the leprosy, he requested Jesus, would you please come to my country, Edessa, and I will give shelter. And I came to say that your people are trying to kill you, and you're facing a lot of problem in your country. You please come to my country. I will give a special asylum. I mean, rooms in my palace. Even I will give a palace for you, and you please come here and you can enjoy here. And Jesus said that I'm so busy. Why I should come? Because I am affected with the leprosy. Please come and I heard that you are a healer of lepers. Please come to my country so that you can live in the palace and nobody will kill you. And this time, Jesus said that I'm busy. I will send one of my disciples, Thomas to Didymos or Thomas to your country. Likewise, Thomas came and he prayed, and his leprosy was over, and the king, the Edessian king, became the first king in the world, Christian king in the world. That's a very secret history. Many of the people are not knowing, and it is about to say that it is not that much it is popular. In fact, we can see that. So Edessa was a buffer state. When the persecution started in Persian Empire, the Christians moved into the buffer state and St. Thomas appeared a bishop of Edessa and requested, please send some people to India. And the same time, Edessian king also got the same vision that St. Thomas requested that somebody should go to India. So in fact, because of the fulfillment of this dream, they came to India. And next theory is that why Persian came to India is that to do mission, to do the Christian mission, they came to India. But we don't have any corroborate reasons or assumptions or proof that we have to say this would beyond, because there is no so much mission done by these people. So what we have said that these are the reasons, for doing trade and commerce, to escape from persecution, request from Indians, and the visions of Edessian Persian bishops and Persian king, and Indians request to come here, to do the trade and commerce. And the last one is that they came to India for doing the mission, Christian mission. Oh, you know that there was a very famous international highway between Persian Empire and China Roman Empire that is known as Silk Road. Have you ever heard about Silk Road? My friends, have you ever heard about Silk Road?
I have heard somewhere, but I don't know what it is really now.
Okay, great. Silk Road was an international trade route between China to Persia to China, Roman Empire. I think some annex are having connection with our Bepur, our Kerala. Also, international Muslims, some is an international. So Persians, they introduced Christianity to China. Who are the people? The monks, then the merchants, and the military. 3M: monks, merchants, and the military. These three people, through Silk Road or some other means, they communicate the gospel or mission to China. It is known as Alopan mission. Alopan. First Syrian Persian mission to China is known as Alopan mission. Alopan is a first missionary to China, Persian missionary to China. It even took place in the 3rd or 4th century, but this was discovered only in the 17th century, when they are excavating some land in the Peking city. They could see a great slab of a mosaic which is containing the names of Syrian bishops So the Persians were very expert in mission. Their missions are not carried on by apostles, but it is carried on by military officials and monks, monastic people, ascetic people, monks, and the third one is merchants. So because of this one, that the Persian merchants are very expert in mission also. Some historians argue that Persian came to India for trade and commerce. But other historians are also arguing that Persian came to India to do mission works in India. The last reason is that as a colony, they came to India. As a colony, as a nomadic, as a vagabond, they moved the journey and came to India and settled in India. It is a kind of colonization. If you look into the history of world, we can see that India was first colonized by the Persians. Of course, Aryans colonization is there. Dravidians were the original people, and Aryans came to India as the first colonial people. But that's not accepted by the majority of the historians, right? That, but Persians, Christians were the first colonial Christian missionaries who came to India. They came to India as a colony. So these are the reasons why Persian Christians came to India. So when they came to India, 4th century and
Ninth century.
9th century they came to India. First leader was Thomas of Cana. Thomas of Cana. So his followers were known as Knanai. He's also known as Knanai Thoman. You know that Changanasheri, Tiruvalla, Rani, Kottayam, all these places, the Knanaya people are there. They were the original Jewish, to say that is a reddish and wheatish and colorful people came to India and they settled at Kranganur. Kranganur or Musiris was an international seaport. Second immigration took place in my district, that is in Kollam. Kollam is my district, and it was from two places, they started there. Immigrated and settled, migrated and immigrated and settled here in these places. So what to say that first immigration is known as Thomas under the leadership of Thomas of Cana. So his followers were known as Knanai Thomans or Knanai Christians. What happened to this migration? First migration people happened at Knanai people, and they came to Kranganur or Kodungalur near Musiris or Ernakulam, some area. Kannur, Ernakulam area. They settled there. And they requested the king, would you please give some piece of land? King said that, and they said that you please take, I will give lot of land for you. And what do you want to do? We want to make a trade and commerce with you. How you are doing? We will import and export. What I will get it? You will get lot of taxes. Oh, you're great. And you take the land as much as you can take it. And they said that we need some traveling facility also. What kind of land do you need? Near to the palace? No, sir. No, king. We need to get a piece of land with the rivers so that we can do the traveling also. So they settled a town which is known as Mahadevara Pattanam. Mahadevara Pattanam. And the community were also divided. Half of the people remained as virgin, unpolluted, not contaminated with Indian blood. Racial purity they kept. They were known as original Knanais. Original Canaanite people, original Knanaya Christians, Changanasheri, Maradai Study Center. If you visit that one, you can see a lot of historical documents there. Canaanite Christians, original Christians, they will marry only the people among that community. Their marriage is conducted. One of my friend belonged to Canaanite community, and when he came to Pentecostalism, he didn't get married for long of years. Even if I had two children, but he remained as a bachelor or spinster. Later, he got married, and now he's in America. He got about 35 years only. He got married. At that time, I got 2 kids also. So that means, you know, they will marry only the people from their own community. They were original, pure, just like Brahmins. Brahmins, or what to say that Nambudris or Brahmins, they were virgin people, just like Jewish people. No, not contaminated or not adulterated or infiltrated or hybridity. No, they were Pakka people. They were known as Knanaya community. And another one is the second group, Syrian Christians. They got married with our St. Thomas community also. So they were also known as Syrian Christians. But the original Syrian Christians is Knanaya Christians. They didn't get interface or interrogate or intermarriage or interdining with the Indian people. Rather, they remained aloof from the local people. So what do you want to say that? So they kept aloof, they kept get rid of from all this kind of racial interfacing or adulteration. They remained as a purely original Jewish or Persian Christians. I think the most beautiful people in the world are Persian Christians. I visited Israel at that time. I could see that, you know, the Syrian people are reddish in color, the most beautiful, just like Kashmiri man and woman. You know, this Syrian people are very reddish. You know, more than of Americans, more than of British or any other people. You know, they were the most handsome and beautiful girls and boys are there. Uh, when I visited Israel also I didn't find this kind of aesthetic pleasure because, you know, Israel people is somewhat just like Americans, you know, almost similar, but German people more beautiful than the German people. German people is also reddish and wheatish. The Jewish people are a wheatish come reddish color, a hybridity of both. But the Syriac people is amazing. What to say, that is the most beautiful place, the Abrahamic, the people, or something like that. So even today, the Knanaya people are very rich in business, industry. What to say, that rich people are there. Even some of the people are joined with the Catholics. Some of the people are joined with the Catholics, and also Changanasheri Rubada or something like that. They belongs to this Jewish people. Anyhow, half of the people intermarried, interacted, interfaced with the Indian people. Indian people means our St. Thomas community. So St. Thomas community also got a nomenclature. That is what to say, that they were also known as St. Thomas community. They were also known as Syrian Christian. But original people, they were divided into two groups. One group remained in the southern side. They were known as Southeast, and one group moved into the Northeast. So they were Northeast. So Tekkanguru, Vadakanguru, something like that. You know, a lot of stories are there. I don't have much time to details of all this thing. So they were divided into two groups, and they were very expertise in. They were the first MNC and TNC in ancient India. They were export, import, very expertise people. They know the art of making money. They know the art of controlling the people, and they are collecting, export, and import. Very rich people. Okay. And they first thing they started a town. It is known as Mahadevara Pattanam. Second, they constructed trade centers, merchants, Anchuvannam, Manigramam, something like that. Lot of trading centers were started by these people, where import and export started there. And the Syrian Christians also used slaves for carrying all this luggages to these people. So even they kept concubines and lot of things, a lot of 70 kings granted 72 privileges. Syrian Christians, just like Brahmins, Syrian Christians got 72 privileges. They can keep the concubines, dhobi, then upper clothes, etc., 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 etc. A lot of privileges were given to a royal palace, the people as well as the high Brahminic people. So, they, but with the arrival of Syrian Christians, because of the above mentioned reasons, Indian Christians got a rejuvenation, a boosting, escalation, empowerment, enhancement, with the arrival of Persian, because there are some priests are there, some bishops are there, some doctrines are there, some scriptures are there. So they got a lot of privileges with the arrival of this Persian people. The king also got very happy because he's getting lot of taxes. He's getting lot of import and exports are there. So they are getting more land tax, trade tax. They can pay the tax in either kind of cash, either gold or silver, like that. Lot of privilege. Kings are very happy, and some of these kings, some of these people are also engaged in the army. Syrian Christians are very powerful, very dynamic people. They don't like casual people like that. They're very powerful, very dynamic and dominant and very brilliant and with people of very courage and what to say that and they acted as the king. King was looking for these people. Look at the Kerala people, Malus, eating something, and they were the Syrian people have six-pack people, very six-pack people. And in Kerala also, I don't know what is in your place. In Kerala, all people are going to gym and making a six-pack. Mr. Jacob, how is the thing is going on there? People are also going for gym and making their body very stuff.
I have no idea, sir.
Get the idea, man. We must know something about everything and everything about something. Then only we can leave this world. If you are not updated, we will be outdated. So we must know something about everything and everything about something. So in Kerala, when we come to Kerala, even girls are checking whether you have a six-pack. If you don't have six-pack, they won't get married. Man, you go. Yes, you go. Go and get a six-pack. So a six-pack came, what is this, a buffer? A muscle. What is that? There is a muscle on this. Is there six-pack?
Biceps,
Buffer.
biceps.
Biceps. Biceps or bicycle, they need this kind of muscles and what to say, six-pack. Sir, otherwise, American culture is also coming to India also. Hi. One day they will say hi. Next day they will say bye bye. So these kind of things are also coming. So the young people, thank God for God, I got married earlier. Otherwise, I should also go to gym and make my six-pack. Now I have a family pack because of commando attack in the foot. So these people are very brave. They're very brave people. So kings appointed these people, very faithful people, just like you Punjabi people. Punjabi people never cheat anybody, if my memory is correct. Students are making gossip in our seminary that Punjabi people are very faithful. They won't never cheat. They won't, even if they know the truth, they won't say it because they don't want to cheat somebody else. Like you say, Syrian Christians are very faithful, very, what to say, that very dynamic people. So king appointed these, some of the people are his own court stewards, king's bodyguard, king's bodyguard. They were very expert in doing warfare, fighting, like that. They're very expert people, very brave people. So king appointed them as court stewards, and some also appointed as the what to say that mm, king's palace treasury keepers. So the Syrian Christians were respected by the king, society, and the common people and everything. Okay, their position was, listen to me, their position was below the Brahmins and above the Kshatriyas. You know that Indian system was four-tier system. Brahmins on the apex, Kshatriyas below them, Shudras below them, no. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. So Shudras Behind them, untouchables are there. Low caste untouchables are. Above them, Shudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, Brahmins. Even kings, Brahmins were below the kings, Kshatriya. So Syrian Christian social position was below the Brahmins and above the Kshatriya. So they were well respected in society. So with the arrival of Syrian Christians in India, what happened? This Indian Christians also, St. Thomas community also got a brand name. So my point is, Persian Christians came here. Then next side heading, we need to write it. So friends, are you getting a sequence? Persians came to India in a two immigration, 4th and 9th century. Why they came here? Well, next one is they came to India. They came to India in the 4th and 9th century. And what to say that they came to India and then why? What are the proofs? What are the proofs? Even took place in the 4th and 5th century or 10th century up to 4th to 10th century. How you can believe it? You're not believing stories. You're not believing traditions. History without source is only a story. History without source is only a story. So can I believe the stories? It's a syndicated or fabricated stories cooked by somebody's brain, just like old grandma and grandpa stories, old stories, fables, traditions. Can I just believe it? History without source is only a story. History without source is only a story. So being a student of history, why you believe that Persian Christians came to India? So we need to study what are the proofs, what are the evidences we have in order to prove that, Syrian Christians came to India. Came to India. Number one, the evidences, the sources. Or to say that the moorings, etc., can be studied under several heading. Is literary sources. We believe Persian Christians came to India 4th and the 9th century, 4th century onwards till the 9th century, because we have lot of evidences. The first evidence is literary sources. Literary sources. Literary sources. That literary sources can make another binary of foreign literature and native literature. There are two types of literature, foreign literature and native literature. The sources in Persian language is a foreign source. For example, you people are staying at Britain and your sources are in English. At the same time, you have some clings, you have some inclinations, or you have some nexus with the India also, or Kerala also. So your native source is Malayalam, and your foreign source is English. Likewise, we have two sources. First source is literary sources. This literary sources, a heap of literary sources are there. Literary sources of again divided into two. Number one, native literature. The literature emanates from the local land, from the Malayalam or Sanskrit, Tamil. The next one is the foreign source. Foreign source is none other than nothing but Syriac Persian sources. So next bifurcation is that minor sources and major literary sources. So that the first source is some of the chronicles, Persian chronicles. Okay, second category is material sources or archaeological sources. First source is literary sources. That sources can be divided into native and foreign sources. Second one is the material source or archaeological source or physical source. And third source is oral source, mouth to ear, from one generation to another generation communication. Mouth
Sir,
to
material or archaeological and other name of
archaeological source. That's the second segment. And third segment is oral source, oral, verbal source, from one generation to another generation. It is known as traditional source, tradition, like a St. Thomas tradition, like a Mabeli tradition, like a Vamana tradition, just like biblical traditions, orally transmitted. History is originating in a liquid form, oral stories, and later only it became a crystallization in the process of writing. So we need to decode what are these sources. Already we said that the first important sources which give evidences or proof or corroboration, veracity, without any pharaonic segmentation or bamboozlings, we are getting a concrete conviction about the arrival of Persian Christians to India from the literary sources. That literary sources can be divided into 1 and 2. Number 1 is native sources, the sources originated from Kerala. And second one is sources originated from Persia. The first source is, again, a second segmentation, a second bifurcation is a binary, is that a major source and minor source. Anyhow, come to the literary source. If you want, you can take a caption like that. Literary sources which corroborate, which support, which give evidence for the Persian immigration to India. The first one is some of the Persian chronicles. Some of the Persian chronicles. The chronicle says that the first reference is Chronicle of Sirte. Chronicle of Sirte. S-E-E-R-T. Chronicle of Sirte. That's a Persian document. In that document, you know, there was a bishop named Dudi or David who left the Persian Sea and came to India and evangelized in around 3rd or 4th century. There is a small reference. In that reference is, there is a sentence like this, the Chronicle of Sirte, a Persian document. In that sentence, there is a one sentence. There was a certain bishop named David or Dudi who left Persian bishop house and came to India and evangelized India. That was the only single sentence available in that one. That was the first, that was a trailblazer, that was a path making, that was a ice breaking evidence for the arrival of Persian Christians to India. Probably at the end of the 3rd century or beginning of 4th century, there was a bishop named Dodi or David who left his Persian bishopcy or bishop house and came to India and evangelized India. That was the first reference. But don't ask that. Which part of India? Is it really our India or greater India? For example, Persians, we used to say that, Iran, Iraq, Saudi, Kuwait, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, UAE, all these people, the places we used to call as a collective known as Persia. Which part of Persia? India. That's a big question. But there's a Persian Christians named David, the Bishop of Basra in Persia, who came to India and evangelized India. We don't have much details about it. We don't know the whereabout. The only whereabout about him is that Bishop Dudi or David was a bishop of Basra in Persia. And he came to India and evangelized India. The second thing is the circulation of there's another reference, the commentary of Markomai. The commentary of Markomai. Mar means bishop. In Persia, it is known as Persian language, it is known as Mar means bishop. If you study the history of Persia, Mar Radai, Mar Hatala, Mar Basilius, Mar means bishop. So Mar Komai, he is a bishop of Persia. He translated a book of Romans, commentary. There is a footnote, there's a margin note in that one. That is none other than about the reference of Daniel, the Indian priest. Mark the reference of a footnote or reference of the commentary of Markomai contains a slight reference about the Persian Christians' arrival to India. So the ecclesiastical nexus of Indian church and Persian church can seen from a small reference from the book of Romans commentary to the book of Romans done by Markomai. In that book, there is a slide margin written footnote is there. What is that? So it says that this commentary was translated from Greek into Syriac language with the help of Daniel, the Indian priest. There's a slight reference. This commentary was translated from Greek language into Persian language by Markomai with the help of Daniel, the Indian priest. This is a reference available in that commentary. So historians assume that Daniel is the first Indian theological student who went to Persia for theological education. There was a famous school in Persia, Syriac school, theological academy. Of course, there is a Alexandrian and Antiochian school of thoughts are there, but the first theological academy or seminary or training place is School of Edessa, School of Nisibis. All these are Eastern theologians, Eastern priests, bishops, all these people are studying in a school named School of Edessa. School of Edessa was established in a place named Edessa. I already said that's in between the Roman Empire and Persian Empire, where Syrians went there and established a school which is known as School of Edessa. So School of Edessa, School of Nisibis, School of Arbela, all these schools are theological academies available in the Persian country. And the monks were the teachers, and the great theologians are teaching there. So the people, St. Thomas community, especially from Pagalomatam family, where all priests are coming up in the traditional land. From the Pagalomatam family, or from the Shankaraburi, Pagalomatam, Kali, Kaliangal, all these Brahminic families who were converted into Christianity were in the position of the traditional clergies and deacons of the church in India. So, in order to get a theological education, Daniel, the Indian priest who went to Persia, that means there was a connection between India and Persia in ecclesiastical level from 4th century onwards, 5th century onwards. That's why an Indian priest went to Persia who studied both language, Greek language and Persian language. And he helped his master, Bishop Mar Adai. That single reference shows that Indian church and the Persian church had good contact, good nexus, everything we can see that. The next one is the circulation of Persian writings to India in the 5th and 6th century. Persian writings, theological books, Bible commentaries, doctrinal books, gospel versions. What is the name of the Syriac version of Bible? Septuagint? Latin Vulgate? Or Peshitta? Latin Vulgate means by translation of Bible in Latin language is known as Latin Vulgate. The translation of Bible from Greek into Syriac language is known as Peshitta. So some of the Peshitta, some of the biblical portions, gospel, some other things were the theological books, the doctrinal books, then the gospels, what to say that some Christian literature, hagiographical literature, biographical literature, all these teachings, hermeneutics, Bible commentaries, all the Syriac documents were circulated to India in the 5th and the 6th century. Why Persian books were circulated to India? There are people in India in the 5th century who know the Syriac language. That shows that, especially the writings of Mana and Marita, some of the Syriac, Theodore of Mopsuestia, Theodore of Mopsuestia, Theodore of Theodore Mopsuestia, what to say that the Mana, Marita, all these Syriac Saint Narsai, then Saint Ephraim, the writings of Saint Ephraim, Saint Narsais, and Theodore of Mopsuestia, all these Syriac fathers, all these people, their writings were circulated to India in the 5th and 6th century. Why? Because Indian church and Persian church had some ecclesiastical connection. For example, your Malayalam newspaper is available in your place? Newsletters? No. Oh, yes. When I was in Gujarat, I got a Malayalam newspaper, and the Kerala store is there. Do you have any Kerala store there? Kerala store is there. All these tapioca, jackfruit, all these things will be available there. Likewise, we have I'm not certain about it. As after my BD, I just went to Gujarat as a Jamnagar as a missionary, as a practical training work there. So I just went there. The first thing I searched is that whether Indian food is Kerala food is available there. After searching a long place, I found a uncle's house where Malayali, dosha, parota, then rice and curry, sambar, avial. Oh my gosh. I was so fascinated. I became a regular visitor until I depart from that place. So my point is, when I just went to Delhi, Bombay, or other place, the first thing is that Mallu hotel is there or not. Kerala hotel is. Even when I visited Tamil Nadu, I visited that. Because our food is staple food is very good. Likewise, uh, just like we people in Kerala, we like to read Malayalam Manorama. That was a favorite subject. Even if you are reading into some other newspaper, it's not a good for. It's not so tasty. When we are മലയാളികൾ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മലയാള മനോരമ അങ്ങോട്ട് വായിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരു എന്തെന്നില്ലാത്തൊരു തൃപ്തിയാണ് വരുന്നത്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല. നിങ്ങളൊക്കെ മലയാള മനോരമയില്ലേ നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിലൊക്കെ വരുത്തുന്നത്?
അതെ അതെ അതെ.
അതൊരു പ്രത്യേക ഒരു സന്തോഷം, ഒരു ഒരു ബന്ധമാണ് ഈ മലയാള മനോരമ വായിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പത്രം വായിച്ചൊരു ഫീലുണ്ട്. എന്തുവാന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ല, എല്ലാം കള്ളന്മാർ ചുമ്മാതെ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയി. ഇവിടുത്തെ ന്യൂസ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് ഇപ്പൊ ന്യൂസ് ഇപ്പൊ പത്രമൊന്നും വായിക്കത്തില്ല, എല്ലാം പിന്നെ ഇപ്പം ഈ ഓൺലൈനായിട്ട് അങ്ങ് പോവുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ ഈ ന്യൂസുകളെന്ന് തന്നെ നമ്മളെ വിഡ്ഢികളാക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്വഭാവമാണ്. ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പർ ന്യൂസ് പറയും ഒരു തേങ്ങ റോഡിലോട്ട് അടന്ന് വീണു, ഇത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ ന്യൂസ്. ഒരു തേങ്ങ റോഡിലോട്ട്, ശരിയല്ലേ, തേങ്ങ എടുക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണോ? ചുമ്മാ പറഞ്ഞതാ, ഇങ്ങോട്ടോ ക്ലാസ്സിക്കോ. ഒരു തേങ്ങ അടന്ന് വീണു, കോക്കനട്ട് ഫെൽ ഓൺ ദ റോഡ് സൈഡ്. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ ന്യൂസ്. ആർക്കും അപായമൊന്നും പറ്റിയില്ല. എന്ത് കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ പോയോ? അത് ആരും ഇല്ലേ ക്ലാസ്സിനകത്ത്? ഇനി മലയാള മനോരമ എല്ലാം വായിക്കാൻ പോയാന്ന് പോയച്ചോ എല്ലാരും. Well, I'm taking this class as a missionary teacher. Otherwise, I won't be in the class anymore. Okay. Well, നിങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും കർത്താവിന് വേണ്ടി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഈ ക്ലാസ് കൊണ്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു മിഷണറി ആവുമോ, എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യുമെന്നുള്ളൊരു അത്യാഗ്രഹം കൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഈ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. Well, can you just hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Cyril, Jennifer, Joel, Shinson, can you hear me?
Yes sir, yes I can hear sir. I'm just going to pick my wife after her job.
Yeah.
That's it.
Life without a wife is not a life. So you pick up your own life. Okay, own wife. Okay, no problem.
Thank you thank you
Yeah.
sir.
What to say? Mind that I'm a missionary teacher. Right. Well, ഞാൻ ഈ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നതിന്റെ കാര്യം, ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരാളെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്രസംഗമെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യുമെന്ന്, ഒരു മിഷൻ എങ്കിലും ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച ഒരു അത്യാഗ്രഹത്തിലാണ് ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. വെൽ, വാട്ട് ടു സേ, ഈ കോക്കനട്ട് തേങ്ങ വീണു, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. പറയൂ സിറിൽ, എന്താണ് താങ്കൾ അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് കൂടുതൽ പറയാനുള്ളത്? ഉടനെ രഘുവംശം, ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്ന് കുമാര രഘുവംശം ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് പ്രതികരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹം അവിടുന്ന് ന്യൂസ് പറയും. ബൽറാം നെടുങ്ങാടി എറണാകുളത്ത് നിന്ന് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് പറയാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. എന്റെ പറമ്പിൽ റോഡിൽ ഒരു തേങ്ങ വീണ്, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ ന്യൂസ്. ആർക്കും അപകടമൊന്നുമില്ല. കോക്കനട്ട് ഫെൽ ഓൺ ദ റോഡ് സൈഡ്. ന്യൂസ് ഈസ് ഓവർ. ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മുടെ പ്രതിനിധി, 24ന്റെ പ്രതിനിധി, അല്ലെ മലയാള മനോരമയുടെ പ്രതിനിധി അതാ പ്രതികരിക്കുന്നു. എന്താണ് കുമാര രഘുവംശം താങ്കൾക്ക് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് പറയാനുള്ളത്? അവിടുന്ന് എറണാകുളത്ത് നമ്മുടെ ലേഖകൻ വീണ്ടും പ്രതികരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പുള്ളി എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഞാൻ താങ്കളിലേക്ക് വരാം, വീട്ടിൽ പോകുന്നു. എന്തൊക്കെ ഒരു പ്രഹസനംസാണ് ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്നത് ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പറിനകത്ത്. അവിടൊക്കെ അങ്ങനെ വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടോ? എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്, എനിക്ക് അമേരിക്കൻ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ഒക്കെ അവർ പറയുന്നത്, ഞാൻ അവിടുത്തെ ന്യൂസ് അറിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അങ്ങോട്ട് വിളിക്കുമ്പോൾ, എവിടാ ഇവിടോ ഇതൊക്കെ സംഭവിച്ചോ? They don't have any time to read all this thing. What about you people? Are you zealous for reading newspaper? And എവിടാ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഇരിക്കാൻ സമയമില്ല, പിന്നെ ഇനി ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പർ വായിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. Do you have the bad habit of reading newspaper there in your place?
No.
Hardly you are fighting with your time and jobs and everything. Okay. So how you are getting the news? I mean, from online or
Online.
Online. Okay. And Asianet TV, all these people, all things are available there, isn't it? Asianet.
through you. Yeah, it's available through YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Nowadays, even the youngsters here, they don't have much time to read all this thing. They need everything in a tablet form. So what to say that, this second thing is the writings of why Persian writings books were sent to India, because there are some Persian Christians in India. Next important thing is universal Christian topography. That was one of the important book which shows light on Indo-Persian church relation. Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. Topography means the description of places. Universal, we know that. This book was written by Cosmos Indicopletus, a Venetian merchant, a traveler, captain, ship captain, who was an international ship traveler for business purpose. And what to say that he visited all these countries, India, Malabar, Kerala, Kodungalur, all these places he visited. So what we want to say that, he visited all these places, and he finally became a Christian. His name is Cosmos Indicopletus. Indicopletus, sailor to India. His origin name is Cosmos. That was a name. He got a nomenclature. He's got an award that Cosmos Indicopletus. That means a sailor to India. Sailor to India. So he wrote a book named Universal Christian Topography. Finally, he became after the retirement of his job, finally he became a Christian, and he recollected all the places he traveled, and he wrote a book named Universal Christian Topography. That means wherever, universe, throughout the world, Christian places he recollected and write it. In that book, he mentioned about Malabar, the old name of Kerala. Probably some part of Kerala is known as Malabar. And he said about the coconut, pepper, spices are growing. In that place, he mentioned that I saw Persian bishops, Persian priests, Persian Christians in Malabar during that time. So he wrote that book in a very systematic way as a travel narrative. He wrote this book, and he wrote that book, and that book name is Universal Christian Topography. That was one of the pretty good book. That was one of the primary source. That was a direct FIR of the Indo-Persian connection between Indian Christians and Persian Christians, and his books explicitly, very emphatically is giving. Cyril, I really appreciate you. Are you bachelor?
No. My wife and my 2 kids are here with me.
Okay, no need to pick up. Okay, that's why you're staying here in the class. Wonderful. Wonderful. Where is my wife? Oh, my wife is at home, back at home, Kotarikara. So, what to say? Let me ask one question that. What do you mean by your wife? How do you conceive the idea of your wife? Of course, it is a partner, your partner. So what are the adjectives that you are focusing on your wife? I mean, what are the, how do you define your wife? What is wife to you? അർത്ഥങ്ങൾ ഇരിപ്പില്ലല്ലോ ഉത്തരമെല്ലാം തെറ്റിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ അഥവാ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ റൂമൊക്കെ പൂട്ടി ഇരുന്നിട്ടേ പറയാവൂ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ. So Recently, I read a beautiful definition of wife. Wife is the real eternal partner in your life and faith. നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിലും നമ്മുടെ വിശ്വാസത്തിലുമുള്ള യഥാർത്ഥ പാർട്ട്ണറാണ് വൈഫ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. That is a pregnant with a lot of meaning. വൈഫ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സെക്സിനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇൻകം ബ്രെഡ് വിന്നോ അല്ല. ഷീസ് എ പാർട്ട്ണർ ഇൻ യുവർ ലൈഫ് ആൻഡ് യുവർ ഫെയ്ത്ത്. Both should be the complementary, should not be contradictory. So our wife should be life partner and faith partner. Otherwise, your kids may not be encouraged in Christian faith. May not be encouraged in Christian faith. And we have to love our wife than anybody else, because she left her house, left her parents, left everything. She was plucked out and planted in your house. So respect wife, love wife. She is not anything but, nothing but everything, the one and only partner in your life and faith. Okay, come to our point. What is the point? Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. Universal Christian topography. That is a brilliant book. That was one of the nobody can deny that one. That much it is practically populated with the Indian facts and figures and Persian bishops, how they are standing, how they are reading the scripture. All these just like a pictorial, a photographical caricature, a narration and oration of the Indo-Persian connection we can have from there. Then there are a lot of literary sources like this. The Chronicle of Sid, the commentary of Markomai, and the Syriac circulation of Syriac books to India, Universal Christian topography are the important literary foreign and native foreign Persian books and evidence which shows the Indo-Persian ecclesiastical connection. The next one is native source. Native source means when Portuguese asked why and how you became Nestorius, how you became Persian bishops, Christians like that, at that time, Indian Syrian leaders, church leaders wrote a letter. It is known as Marthoma first letter or second letter, like that, Some of the local Christian leaders wrote letter about their pedigree, their lifestyle, their legacy, their antiquity and continuity, because they wrote a letter about their own ancestral family tree. And that letter is one of the important primary source that we need to understand for this native letter. So native is a small letter. Some of the letters correspondence between our Persians and the Portuguese. That's all. The next one is literary. I mean, what to say that? Archaeological sources, or material sources, or archaeological sources. That's a very, very, very important thing. Archaeology is known as the handmaid of history. Handmaid of history. ചരിത്രത്തിന്റെ കളിത്തോഴിയാണ് ഈ പുരാവസ്തു എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Archaeology of history is the archaeological sources. History is the archaeological sources of history. What are the archaeological sources? What are the material sources? What are the physical sources which shows light on the Indo-Persian ecclesiastical connection? The answer is Persian crosses. Persian crosses. Persian crosses. Persian crosses. We have lot of Persian crosses. Have you seen the Persian crosses? Is coming up in the lotus. bottom there is a lotus. From there it is a pedestal is going on. Then both side is also a flower type, and the top type is also flower type. Like this, coming from like this, like this, like this, both side, three side, but coming from bottom, it's coming from as a pedestal of what to say that it is coming up as a cross. Which and the top side, a dove is descending model. A dove is descending model, not ascending model. Two doves are coming up, coming down, descending order upon the top of the cross. So Persian cross is unique cross. There are a lot of crosses are there, X cross, then plus cross. A lot of crosses are there, but Persian crosses is unique. If you want to see that one when you come to Kerala or if you visit that churches, the Persian cross. Otherwise, check in the net. Is coming out from the lotus and it's both the three side in the flower type and descending dove is also pictured there. So Persian crosses is one of the important. If Persian didn't come to India, there may not be any Persian crosses. So Indian church during the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh centuries, we have a lot of Persian crosses available in India. That shows that Indian church and Persian church had a connection. That's why Persian crosses came to India. There is no Roman cross. Why? Because we don't have any ecclesiastical connection. There is no Greek crosses. Why? Because we don't have any ecclesiastical connection. We have connection. We have had a connection with the Persian. That's why Persian crosses came. So Persian crosses were discovered from Malaya to then different parts of Kodungalur, then Tamil Nadu, something like that. So Indian church during the 4th, 9th centuries, or until the arrival of Portuguese, had been under the leadership of Persians. So we can say that Persian church was having a good relation with Indian church. That's why Persian cross are coming to India. Next one is copper plates. Copper plates. Tamra Shasanam. Tamra Shasanam. Copper plates. In it, with a knife, with a nail, we are inscribing. Just like our steel plate is inscribed with a inscription mission in carving, likewise, is there. The cross also had in some Syriac letters. How we can understand it is a Persian cross? Syriac letters, words are there. So already with the size, physical structure, we can understand it's a Persian cross. At the same time, we can see that this, what to say, inscription, Syrian letters were inscribed in it, engraved in it. So it is a Persian crosses. Persian crosses are there. Next one is that copper plates, copper plates, copper plates. Copper plates. Copper plates are there. Copper plates. Copper plates is the original, what to say, there's a document, royal document. We people, some of the Brahminic people, if they are writing something, if ordinary people like you and me, if you are said that Cyril, Joe, I will give 50 rupees to you, you have to give me on next month 5 rupees as a interest. Like that, we are verbally communicating. But if a very religious document, they will take palm leaf and inscribe, just like a papyrus of Egypt. They will write it. But if it is a royal king, for example, religion and Ayurvedic medicines were written in a palm leaf. especially the Nalanda Ujjain universities, having a lot of scrolls. The Mrigathinte Thool, scrolls. Then the papers, palm leaf, making us a paper like that, small, very small, just like a scale, they were within that one. They will inscribe like this, inscribe like that. It will be seasoned. It will remain for a lot of seasons. It will remain for a lot of seasons. So we can see that the next one is if it is a royal documents or something, they will take a copper plates, small, just like a paperweight, paper type of copper plates. They are taking it, and they will with a knife or a nail. They will inscribe. It is known as Narayam. It's a knife, special knife or nail. It is inscribed. So it will be there. Nobody can wipe out like that. So there is copper plates were issued by King of Venad, King Ayyanadigal of Venad, Stanu Devi Gupta. All these people issued copper plates, royal copper plates, royal document to the Syrian Christian leaders, Thomas of Cana, Sabrisho, Mar Palwood, second immigration leaders, the immigration of Koilon and Kollam, as well as the immigrants of Persian immigrants of Kodungalur, got lot of documents. And also another person like Ravi Kortan, he merchant, he also got lot of. So kings issued lot of copper plates as a important document by which we can see that this is issued by. So in it, Syriac letters are there, Sanskrit letters are there, Jewish letters are there, Pali letters are there, then Pahlavi letters are there, a lot of letters are there, which is Arabic letters are witness everything. So that is a very important document which shows the arrival and the presence of Persian Christians in India until the arrival of Portuguese in India. So these are the evidences. And orally we used to say, oral songs, stories, etc. also proves that a Persian Christian came to India. So my point is, Persian Christians came to India fourth to ninth century. It is not a tradition, but it is well endorsed, proven, well established with some literary sources. That literary sources. Another important document is Count's Nicene Creed, Nicene Creed, Nicene Creed, Nicene Creed, issued by the King Constantine in that first ecumenical council, Nicene Creed, Indian Church, John, there is a sentence there. Historians have discovered that sentence and proved the Indo-Persian ecclesiastical connection. That, one sentence, John of Persia, Bishop John of Persia, who signed both for India and Persia in the Nicene Council. India and Persia, hyphen, John of Persia, who signed it. Why India and Persia, John signed both for India and Persia? Because Indian church was, in the 4th century, was under the leadership of Persian church. So why should I come there? You are the leader, you signed for us. Hmm? So that is a Nicene Council Creed, Universal Christian Topography, Chronicle of some literary sources, and Persian crosses and archaeology, the copper plates. All this shows that, and the Syrian church buildings, Gothic styles, and all the things are there. Is a very important thing we can see over there. And next one is the impacts of Persian Christians to India. Impacts of arrival of the Persian Christians to India. It have its own positive and negative impacts. The positive impact is number one, Indian Christianity sustained during the later period. Indian Christianity sustained, or the Christianity. Why St. Thomas came to North India and established churches? Christians also converted. South India also came and established a converted Christian. Why? But only South India Christianity survived because of the arrival of Persian Christians. Whereas in North India, Christians, Syrian Christians didn't come, it is stopped there. So if Syrian Christian didn't come to India, Kerala, our St. Thomas tradition, churches, privileges, tradition, everything will be damaged. So vanished, extinguished. So the arrival of Persian Christians to India contributed for the sustenance of Christianity in India, sustenance of St. Thomas tradition in India, sustenance of St. Thomas churches in India, sustenance of St. Thomas community in India. Second important thing is they introduced a first ecclesiastical language, Syriac language in India, Syriac language in India, Syriac language. Joe, are you there? Tijo, are you there? No. Sir, I really appreciate you for your patience. For sitting for long hours and 2 hours sitting in the same class. It's a very Herculean and hazardous work. Patiently, you are sitting here. I really appreciate you. Well, second important is Syriac language. They introduced Syriac language. എന്തുവാ അച്ഛാ സെക്യൂരിറ്റാ എന്തുവാ ദാ one of our students is not feeling well and he want to go to hospital. I'm staying in seminary. Right. Second, your time is up. Okay, your time is up. Second thing is they introduce the Syriac language here, liturgy here. They introduce a good administration, leadership. Indian church got a new leadership. Indian Christians a lot like scripture. Indian Christians got a seminary education. Indian church got a new leadership, administration, and the church. The Syrian Christian established a lot of churches, and they established a lot of seminaries, and numerical growth started, economic standards started. Like that, it was a training. So, 4th century till 15th century, Indian church was dominated by Syrian Christians. That's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.